Welcome to Mental Health Moments. While each of our subjects are meaningful and we hope very helpful, some of them are much more challenging and difficult than others. For those of you that may be new to our channel, we're glad to have you there with us. What we like to do is get right to it. We like to start the discussion and open everything up. And this time we're going to be going after something that we feel like is needed in the moment: poor body image. Poor body image. Now, having said that, we know, again, that it is a very difficult, challenging subject for a lot of people to deal with, so we will be as sensitive as possible. Also, as we've said before, at any time during the video that you feel like you might need to pause and just think a bit, you're welcome to do that. We will be right back. And we're back. Poor body image. Negative body image means that an individual is pretty much generally unhappy with the way that they look for one reason or another. Therefore, they feel like that from time to time they need to change something about themselves and how they change their body size, their body shape, the way they look. In preparation for this, I had numerous discussions with people who have these challenges, and I appreciate all of their input. And what I discovered was very eye-opening, that there are a lot of reasons for this. There are many reasons and many causes. Some of them are very obvious, and sometimes they're not. Sometimes as a child growing up, someone will just say something to you, and somehow it finds its way into your thinking. It becomes an ingrained part of who you are, and while it may or may not have been what the person thought was funny or harmless or what have you, as time goes on, it turns into something else. In preparation for this, I read a lot of very interesting thoughts, and I wanted to pass this along to you. A woman wrote, "Pretend for a moment that we live in a world that has no mirrors or selfies or body snarking." She said, "What would it be like to think of your body not in terms of how it looks, but with awe and respect that it deserves for being a thinking, breathing, heart-pounding, disease-fighting miracle machine?" If we could adopt that perspective daily, maybe we would be less susceptible to societal ideas that create a harmful, negative body image. I thought that was so good. Maybe I'll copy it and put it in the link so that you can screenshot it. When seeking to understand body image, that is the way that you perceive yourself. And the way that you perceive yourself is much more complicated than we think. And some people, the idea is, well, I like myself. I like how I look. I like how I am. And you're very comfortable in your own skin. But for someone who deals with poor body image or negative body image, it's different. They are acutely aware of each and everything that they perceive as being not right with them. As they look at themselves, and you could take it any direction. My ears don't look right. My eyes are crooked. My smile is crooked. I'm not happy with that. All brought on by the way our culture is. Body size. My body size is not the way that I want it to be. Cultural pressures of how to look. And what we see as time is going on is that those cultural pressures are beginning to alleviate. People are getting much more comfortable in their own skins. But it still has an effect on how you perceive yourself. Negative body image can begin, surprisingly enough, at a very young age. According to a 2020 research review, 40 to 50% of first graders and second graders already don't like some aspect of their body. I don't know how you feel about that, but 40 to 50% of first and second graders already have a negative self-image. Currently, 1 in 3 are concerned about their body image. And then, as we know, as time goes on, inevitably, as you begin changing during puberty and all of that, the dissatisfaction can deepen. 2020 studies suggest that dissatisfaction with your body can lead to a number of emotional and unhealthy habits of different kinds, which can lead to so many other things, including drastically bad eating habits, unhealthy habits that you have to try to deal with the issue that you're dealing with. A negative body image is also associated with a wide range of health conditions. People who are extremely dissatisfied with the way that they look have a greater risk of developing an eating disorder, low self-esteem, mood disorders, body dysmorphic disorders, relationship problems, and self-harm tendencies. I hope by now that you can see that it is very pervasive in a great number of people. If you don't deal with it, be glad, but remember that there are a lot of people that do. So as we like to do on this channel, we go straight to it. What are the signs? What are the signs? We're going to just give you several here. Do you, as a person, compulsively check and then recheck your body, either weighing yourself, measuring your body parts, pinching your skin, examining yourself in a mirror a little bit too much? While we all do that, we check our images in the mirror quite frequently. But people with poor body image are looking much more often. Another sign is, are you obsessed with food and exercise? That may tell some of the story, it may not, but it could tell something if you're obsessed with it. Is there a noticeable correlation with how you see yourself and your mood? We see it on social media from time to time. People will post a picture and they'll say, feeling cute today. But there are some people that it is definitely a problem for them. Is a very real correlation between how you perceive yourself and your mood? Do your feelings about your body interfere with your relationships, your work, or your activities? Are there times in your life when you just put everything on hold because you don't like how you're looking that day? Do you take extreme measures to avoid seeing your own body? Some people do. Some people do. If you do, I'm sorry that you're dealing with that, but it's a very real issue. Do you feel the need to apply a heavy layer of makeup when you go out in public? And lastly, do you use hats to cover your hair or baggy clothing to hide your body? There is so much that goes into this, and you could research that. And again, remember, this is a discussion starter. We like to get it going and then move from there. So what can we do? I'm going to give you a list of about 8 quick things very quickly to help you with it. So here we go. Number one, I think one of the most important things to do that you can do for yourself is to detox yourself from social media. Detox yourself from social media. Several weeks or a month could give you the space that you need to develop some mental clarity and begin to see yourself a little bit more clearly. Sometimes we need to get away from all of that comparisоnism, and it goes along with that. Number two, create multiple lists of the top things that you like about yourself. That sounds odd for people, but it's so helpful. Create lists of things that you actually appreciate about yourself. I'm thankful that I've got a pretty decent shaped head, because if I didn't, it would be a problem. Number three, surround yourself, listen to this, with loving, positive people in real life, and if you are online. Surround yourself with loving, positive people. We cannot stress how important that is, to have people in your life who are loving and positive. Number four, for several days, jot down the negative things that you say or think about your body, and then rewrite messages to yourself in a more self-respecting way. I might dislike the way this part of me looks or that part of me looks, but instead of me just obsessing about that, why don't I write down what I've been saying about that and then find better ways to say it about myself. Number five, redefine beauty in a less superficial way. I don't know where you're sitting or if you're by anybody right now, but you could high five somebody, put a little note in the comments like a yes, I agree with that. Number five is redefine beauty in a less superficial way. From time to time in our culture, we feel like we're making strides in that direction, but then there are other times that we just come back and we recognize that we are very superficial. Redefine beauty. Number six, take your own comfort into consideration when choosing clothes. When I saw that one, I was like, that's me. You have stages and times in your life when you go through that you want to impress you. That's the phrase, dress to impress. And there is something to be said about how you feel about yourself when you put on a nice set of clothes and all that kind of stuff. But this is important. Take into consideration your own comfort when you are choosing clothes. I like this. It feels good. I'm going to wear that. Number seven, explore activities that allow you to discover how your body works and what it can really do. What's that got to do with poor body image? A lot. Because then when you realize, as the young lady in the writing said earlier, when you realize what an amazing body you have, what an amazing thing your body is capable of, you begin to appreciate it and respect it a whole lot more. And lastly, number eight, spend time volunteering to help others. That might not have to be in a very structured sense. It could be in a very organic sense that you find somebody else maybe who is dealing with the same kind of an issue, and you just make it your purpose for a little while to give them some of your time and some of your help, and that would be helpful to you. So there you go. What about you? I know, again, very complex subject, and you just rush through it. This channel is here to start the discussion, not to give every answer and not to be exhaustive. Otherwise, we could be here for a month on this issue alone. So what about you? Have you noticed it? Do you have an issue with it? Do you know others that do? When you find that you do, what do you do? Have you had it before? And if you've broken through that, what did you do? Put it in the comments. I think it would be helpful for someone to read what has happened in your life. And if you'd like to have more information about this, please just put that in the comments. Hey, a little bit more on this or something. If you have suggestions, please drop those in the comments as well. If you're a subscriber, thank you for being there. Click share, click like, let us know that you're there. I'm really appreciating all of the comments that we've been getting lately. A lot more comments lately are coming in, and I appreciate that. We appreciate you guys being there. Every Sunday night at 7 o'clock, we drop content, and it's there all through the week. We hope that this has been helpful. We look forward to seeing you next time right here on Mental Health Moments.